Have you ever played a game on iOS in which it came to PC? Well, don't, because most of these ports are crap. Hey, what's going on, geeks? Maxusthebeast is here, and welcome to another commentary video. As the goofy little introduction suggests, today's topic is on iOS to PC ports, or more specifically, in case you don't use an iOS device, mobile to PC ports. Yes, these do exist. While they used to be super common, they're not as much anymore. And more to popularity or whatever in a minute. So, if you guys don't know what a mobile device is, where have you been the last 20 years? But now with the advent of successful mobile games, and the increase in popularity in PC gaming recently, I mean, PC gaming was always popular, don't get me wrong, but it just, for whatever reason, just got even more popular, people being more interested in getting rigs and new rigs and stuff. So now developers who got big on the iOS store, games like Anno Online, decided, hey, we've made good money over here on the iOS, and city builders are kind of popular on PC. So, let's just try to sell a half-finished game from iOS on PC. And, yeah, make it free. But we'll include a bunch of microtransactions. That's the way most of these ports work. Most of the developers get money hungry after they make it big on the mobile scene. Which, good for them for getting it big, but people don't really like mobile to PC ports for multiple reasons. The two biggest ones are that the games just don't work because it's kind of hard to reprogram certain functions from a touch screen to a keyboard and mouse, or your preferred controller. So, that means things like swiping mechanics for QuickTime events and things of that sort, you have to reprogram pretty much entirely in order to make it work. And that's going to be kind of hard for developers. So, the difficulties for that make it so these games turn out half-baked, pretty much, with broken controls and seemingly unfinished mechanics. Just broken gameplay. Things that people don't like to see in games. And the second big thing is, most of these games are filled to the brim with microtransactions. You know how games like Clash of Clans feature a gem system where you start building a house or building or something of that sort, and then it takes a certain amount of time in real life, but you can speed it up if you use gems? But in order to get gems, you have to pay money. That's kind of what they're doing here on PC. They're trying to do that with these ports. And things similar to that as well are plaguing the mobile to PC ports with basically the exact same issue that they had on iOS, which is insane and pretty much unnecessary microtransactions. And yes, while not every game is plagued with these microtransactions, a lot of these mobile to PC games have them. And as I said, some to the extreme amount. Meaning that in order to actually get anything done, because, you know, some of these games, the build times as you progress in the game can take an extremely long amount of time to complete. So, purchasing these gems and other things to speed up the process is almost a must in some cases, making it so developers can just mooch off people with big wallets. Because the people with big wallets, they're impatient, so they don't want to have to wait to use the building they're trying to create for whatever game. And while that might work decently on mobile, it doesn't work here. As not only do some of the mechanics just not work, like I said, controls not working properly, but in case developers haven't noticed by now, but the PC crowd's kind of finicky. And it takes a lot to please the majority of the PC crowd. So, developers are going to have to try really hard to earn the trust of their consumers. And by plaguing their game with a bunch of basically useless microtransactions, it is not winning the love and support of their customers, of their potential customers, and the people who are playing their game, their player base. And this isn't good for anybody, as the gamers, the people who are playing, aren't happy because not only does the game not work properly, but it's filled to the brim with microtransactions to the point where it's pay to play. And then in games like Blockade 3D, which, if you don't know, I wouldn't blame you because it's kind of fallen off the map. But games like that, Blockade 3D, are shooter games. They're trying to be like Call of Duty and these popular shooter franchises. So they're trying to add in weapons and stuff. Well, be able to shoot weapons and stuff, add weapon skins and new weapons and stuff. But Blockade 3D, the big issue that players had with that is that as microtransactions were added and more things were done, it became pay to win. Now, while Blockade 3D is currently PC exclusive, it does highlight a trend in these kind of scenes. And the trend that it's highlighting is the fact that these people are using pay-to-win mechanics. And that's not okay. Being pay-to-play is not good, regardless of what game it is. And Blockade 3D and other games that make it so you have to pay money. The pay-to-play ones, where you have to pay money in order to do well. Or the pay-to-win ones, where you have to spend money on the most recent weapon, overpowered weapon, in order to actually be able to compete with other people because everybody else is using said weapon. It's a mess, to be honest. It's an absolute mess. And because a lot of these games are being labeled as pay-to-win or pay-to-play, it's kind of giving the genre of iOS to PC a bad rap. And in most cases, it's justified. However, in the rare time where you do see a good port, it's kind of overlooked, as is the case with martial arts Brutality, which is a game that you're seeing here. To me, it's the best iOS to PC port, or mobile to PC port, out there, as the controls actually work, the game itself is fun, and the microtransactions, yeah, you have them, but they're not necessary. You can still play the game, and you can still progress the way you should, without having to spend a cent. And that's the way it should be. That's the way microtransactions in these games should work. But that's another topic for another time. But what I'm trying to get to is that some of these games can be genuinely good. And this is a prime example of it. However, because it is an iOS to PC port, people most likely will overlook it, thinking that, oh, it's another pay-to-play, pay-to-win title that doesn't work because it's a port from a mobile system to a PC. And unfortunately, it's become kind of stereotyped. When we got little gems like this that come out and just blow you away with how good they are, even though they're iOS to PC. And it's great to see that there are genuinely good ports out there. It's something that I would love to see more of these ports getting better and better, but it's going to take some work by the developers. But if we get more developers like the ones who made this game, we're going to be all set because we can get plenty of good ports from them and for developers similar to them. Because they know what they're doing. And perhaps down the road I'll talk about this game in more detail because it's a great game. I've had an absolute blast playing it. And it's such a shame that genuinely good games like this are overlooked because they're simply an iOS to PC port. But then again, how do you know you can trust these developers? And that goes back to, of course, the common thing that people have to do before they purchase a game or get a game of this type of genre is do research on the developers. These devs happen to be pretty active with their game and strive and work hard to create the best game they could possibly make for not just them, for them saying, hey, we made a really good game, but for the consumers, making it so, oh, yeah, we're going to put microtransactions in here, but it's not going to be excessive. It's going to be bearable. It's going to be not necessary. You don't have to spend a cent. And then make the gameplay good. And make sure that with a mouse and keyboard you could efficiently play the game. The developers did that for this. And like I said, there are genuinely good ports out there. You just have to do a little bit of research, a little bit of digging, but you can find them. So, as that cringy challenge meme thing says, don't judge a book by its cover. So what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you think iOS to PC ports should be banned from Steam itself? Or do you think it's a good thing and should continue to grow? And that developers, such as the ones that made martial arts Brutality, should continue to do what they're doing? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I personally am just going to leave you at that because I'm not going to be biased here. I'm not going to attempt to be super biased. But anyway, regardless of biasness or non-biasness, thank you for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below your thoughts on the topic, as I like to know what you guys think about the whole iOS to PC thing. Do you like it? Do you not like it? State your thoughts. You know, I would love to make it so at the end of these my thoughts style of videos that you guys would be encouraged to leave your own thoughts, and I would love to, at the end of one of these, to hear your guys' thoughts on the topic, because that's important to me to see what my community thinks about a certain topic I talked about. Anyway, with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like. Each like means so much to me. And if you enjoyed the video, so much so that you wish to see content that is similar to this, as in more commentaries, more gameplays, more reactions, you name it, it'll happen. Anyway, guys, if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the notification bell beside the push subscribe button so you will be notified whenever I upload more content. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and as always, Maxusthebeast is out.